about that other than trying to help people who are in a state of invasion.
Welcome back to the Immigration Answer Show. My name is Jim Hacking. This is the Immigration Answer Show, episode number 497. We are three episodes away from our 500th episode. So for those of you watching on TikTok, so tonight we're doing something a little bit differently. I'm down in Orlando dealing and meeting with some of my favorite marketing folks. And I'll be here today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. So I'm doing the live show on TikTok and on YouTube. I'm going to bounce back and forth. I see a lot of our favorites in the comments. You is here. Robert is here. Alejandro is always watching. Daryl's here. Raphael's here. Munir is here in Houston. Michael, of course, in Salt Lake. Masood is here. Let me go ahead and share the love for the copy. And here is the link. So for those of you on TikTok, if you want to go look for the Immigration Answer Show, if you want to come on camera and ask me a question, you can to the waiting room. Timit Tepe is here. Let me go ahead and drop that there so that they can ask me questions. All right, I'm going to start with TikTok. How long does a U.S. citizen take to petition a married child? Well, I would assume that the married child is over 21. So you're talking probably a 10-year wait. Yeah, this is on Facebook. Right now, you guys over here are looking at me on TikTok. You guys over here are looking at me on YouTube and Facebook. So the Immigration Answer Show, which is my Immigration Answer Show, is on YouTube, and it's on Facebook, on our company page, and it's on our Immigrant Home Facebook page. Oh, Rocio's got a new Google account. What's up with that? All right. Shanaz watching in Phoenix. Let's go ahead and say hello to Mr. K. Hello, Mr. K.
Hi, Jim. Can you hear me?
I hear you fine. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Can I take my off from camera, please?
You are off camera.
Jim, I got two questions. So, Jim, I'm doing my waiver. So I'm here in the state. I'm doing my waiver for misrepresentation. Is it the 61 I-61 I-60? Is it I-601A or I-601? Which one is the correct one too?
Misrepresentations is just the straight 601.
601. Okay. Mm-hmm. And then also my second question is, so I talked to Daniel about filing a lawsuit, and he told me I'm going to do it next month, in the next 2 weeks, I believe. Yeah. So how long will it take you guys to get the process done if I'm to do the lawsuit?
Yeah, typically when we file a lawsuit, it takes us about 5 to 10 business days to get the lawsuit on file. Then we wait for the court to issue the summonses, which takes about 2 days, and then we mail them a copy. And we have to send it by certified mail. They receive it about a week later, and then they get 60 days to answer. So altogether, you don't start seeing movement for, around 3 months.
Okay. All right. Thank you. That's the question I have. And thank you so much for the program you're doing for us, the immigrant here. May God bless you and bless your family, and then enhance your fam as well.
Thank you, Mr. K. See you, buddy.
Thank you.
All right, let's bounce over to TikTok. What are the red flags that a green card can be denied for an immigrant relative applicant at the embassy interview? Oh, okay. That's a good question. So let's talk about the red flags at the embassy. So age gaps, multiple marriages, multiple sponsorships, and prior visa applications by the beneficiary. So if the beneficiary has applied many, many times to get a visit visa and then all of a sudden marries someone much older than them, or has tried for a student visa, and then all of a sudden gets married, these are all the red flags. If the consular official doesn't believe that the marriage is real, then they are most likely going to deny that application. Jose is here. Hello, Jose.
Hey, how you doing, Jim? Again, just a quick question. I've been bothering USCIS regarding a case. I know we need to wait 2 years before we can just move forward with the lawsuit. But here's the situation: USCIS keep changing my address for no reason, and they keep moving me. I don't know if there's an officer mistake. They're reviewing my case, but the address every time I call, like every time I call every week, and they telling me the address doesn't match what I have, the one I have on file, and then they're just telling me like, well, you submit an address change, the form 11 or something like that.
AR11, yeah.
It just keep happening, and I am 100% sure that it's not my mistake. They're doing a mess, and I don't know what should I do.
So when you filed, you listed an address. Have you moved at all since you filed?
Nope. And I have proof of that. All my receipts are with the same address, and then they keep changing it. I don't know why.
How many times have they said? While it's been pending, how many times do they think that you've changed your address with an AR?
3 different times. They are telling me one address on Washington State, and then another one in New Jersey. And they were able to verify me because I tell them where country I came from, and a bunch of information, even my social security number. But that's why they can't release the address because they say for security purpose. But they don't want to give me an in-person appointment with my local office, and then there's no way I can change my address. And of course, my lawyer is just not willing to help me. He haven't answered me since the last 3 weeks, and I don't know what to do. What should I do?
Since they started notifying you that your address has changed, did you go back then and fill out an AR11 with your right address?
No, because to be able to change the address, I need to put my previous address and my actual address. And that every time I talk to them, I explain them that, and they say, "Well, I'm sorry, we can't give you the address, so I'm stuck."
Well, listen, you have a lawyer for this case?
Well, yes, but I don't think she is willing to help me out. She pretty much told me like she's not.
The only reason I bring that up is because they're going to get notices too. So I would say just maybe forget about your physical address. I would try to change it. It sounds like you can't. So I think you just have to hope that she gets the notices and sign up for electronic alerts. I think that's all you can do.
And then, because I'm just scared because if they're actual movements on my case, they don't have my right address. And I try it all. I tried on the portal, and then they are not allowed. I'm not allowed to change it there. And I tried by mail, but the form is actually asking my previous address. So I don't know what to do. And then, like I said, my lawyer is just not willing to help me out.
I guess the other thing you could do is you could print out the form, do a letter explaining what you just explained to me. And then attach the AR11 that you filled out and just say, I have to leave it blank because somebody's putting in the wrong address for me at that address. You know what I mean? Or on that form. Right?
Okay. I'll definitely try that because I'm desperate. I don't know what else to do. And then they're doing just a mess. Their USCIS is just a mess.
Thanks, Jose. Sorry you're going through this.
You. Appreciate it, boss. Okay.
Bye-bye. You got it. Later. All right, let's do some questions over from TikTok. I completed my interview already, and I got sworn in. That was an answer. 221G process. How long does it take after I submit my documents? That's a question we get a lot, Rose. 221G is administrative processing. So if the State Department feels like they don't have everything they need to approve your case, they will put you in administrative processing. You can be in administrative processing for years. So there's not a real answer to it. I would sort of ask, what was it that made them put your case in administrative processing, and see if there's anything you can do separately. But if they put you in administrative processing, you're probably not going to be able to find out why for a little bit. I'm married to a U.S. citizen, but my wife went to change her last name and take my name. It's okay. Yeah, it's okay if your wife changes her name to your name. That's okay. All right. If my work permit is expired, he's still working until somebody from the boss. I don't know what that means. I'm an art student on an F1 visa. This is Steph. I'm an art student on an F1 visa. Is there a way I could get a work visa to become a tattoo artist? That's a good question. That's a great question, actually. So when your F1 student studies are over, you should be able to apply for optional practical training. if we could argue that being a tattoo artist is encompassed in your art degree, then I think you could get OPT. And do I think that a tattoo parlor could sponsor someone on OPT who has an art degree to be a tattoo artist? I think maybe you could. It's not for sure, but I think that you could. Thanks for the heart. Thanks for the love, everybody. All right, I'm going to kick it back over to YouTube. Salu is here. Salu, are you still here? Salu went away for a minute. Let's go to Nana. Hi, Nana.
Hey, Jim. How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I just had a quick question.
Can you turn down that sound so that we can hear each other? Now you're on mute though.
I'm sorry. I was on the TikTok also. I apologize.
Oh, no worries. Okay, perfect.
Now you're on mute though.
So I just had a question. So I was asking. So my friend came here on K1 visa, and they had to leave and go back to their foreign country, but they got married to the U.S. citizen that came here, but they had to go back due to some emergency, and they didn't know that was one entry visa. So the husband went back to the country. So now we are trying to figure out is how are they able to come back? Like, is there any reason? Like, what can we do for him to come back?
I put you on mute just so that we don't have the echoing. Can you still hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. So this isn't so every day I hear something new on the Immigration Answer Show that I haven't heard before. So I think what you're telling me, Nana, is somebody was engaged to a U.S. citizen.
Yes.
The U.S. citizen filed an I-129F petition for them, which was approved. They got their visa. They came to the United States. They got married, and then some emergency happened back home, and they left before applying for their green card.
Yes.
Wow. I've never heard of this before. That's crazy. So I believe that most likely the U.S. citizen has to file an I-130 petition, and they have to start all over.
So my question is there a chance for them to get approved with that, or is it going to be denied?
No, I think they have a chance to get it approved. I think that, okay. I mean, people will be confused. They'll be like, hey, lady, you were just here. We just gave you a fiance visa. Why are you coming back for a spouse visa? But
yeah,
you just have to explain what happened.
Okay. That's
but
what
I wouldn't say that. I think that this should work. They might need some help, but I don't think that they're going to deny it outright. I think that it might take a while and they might confuse them, but I think it's approvable.
Okay. Because they're trying to figure out what they can do, because we're not sure. Because I was also saying the same thing. Since they are married, they cannot come back with the fiancé visa again. So right. They might have to do the spouse visa one. But they were also scared that they might get denied for that, because, they already did the I-120. But it's the same person that they are married to.
Yeah, and they never got their green card. So I think I think it's okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Good question. Thanks, Nana. All right. Let's kick it over to TikTok. Okay. Hi, as an F1 student who was married in my country, can I get married here again? I don't know, Gib, if you're talking about a new person or the same person or what. What do you mean when you say you want to get married again? Hitta says, I did my asylum interview 5 years ago, but I've not got a decision yet. Is it normal? No, it's not normal. We can probably get you a decision if we sue them. 5 years is ridiculous, especially if you've had your interview. But of course, whenever you sue them and you're in asylum, if it gets denied, you're going to end up in removal. So you always got to think that through and see if the case has been updated. All right. Gib says to a new person. Well, I assume, Gib, if you get divorced, that's what you're talking about. Are you talking about a U.S. citizen or are you talking about somebody else? I think people on F1s get married all the time, but if they obviously they have to be legally divorced, and if they're trying to get an immigration benefit from it, it's probably going to be tricky. Carolina's here. Hello, Carolina.
Hello, Jim. How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Good. Okay, I have a question related to my visa. I have a J1 visa, which is a work visa. I'm working as a teacher in North Carolina. But my visa is going to expire on June 2024.
Okay.
So I came with a program, and that program allows that I can extend for 3 years more. So my question related to this visa is if it's good idea go to my home country and renew it so I can travel back and forth. If I want to go back to Colombia or something happen, I just can go. Or just stay here and wait the 2 years that I have, like the extra time that I have, because I want to apply for the HB1 visa after the 5 years. But also I have my B1, B2 visa, and it's going to expire on April 2024. So some people say just renew it, because suppose that I can do it from here, but I'm not sure if I can do it, or I have to go again to Colombia and renew my tourist visa. Or if it's a bad idea because it's going to look like why do you want a visa if you already have a J1? So
you're confusing me a little bit. So if you go ahead with, I understand. Actually, I'm just teasing, but if you're confusing me with all this stuff, I think you're going to confuse them with all this stuff. So let's try to unravel it. What's your first of all, with your J1? Have you ever heard of Rule 212E? Do you know what that is?
No, that I have to go back to my country and stay 2 years.
Right. Are you subject to that, or are you not subject to that?
Yes, I am.
So at the end of the day, you're going to have to do that at some point.
At some point, yes, after the 5 years.
After the 5 years? What do you mean the 5 years?
I mean, like my visa is for 3 years, like the paper, the document.
The original J1 is for 3 years.
Yes, but they gave an extension for 3 years.
So you'd have 5 total.
Yes.
Okay.
But my plan after that is to apply for the HB1 visa.
H1B. Mm-hmm. So the question is, can someone change status? I don't think you're going to be able to change status in the United States from a J1 to an H1B with that 2-year residency requirement. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm 95% sure that you won't be able to do that. You'll have to go back. Now, if you have spent 5 years in the United States on a J1 and then you want to get an H1B, I think they might give you a little bit of trouble because they think you just want to live here all the time. Because that's a really long time to be in F1 and then H1B status. So I think you've got problems with your plan, because I don't know that the embassy is going to be very nice to you when you go back.
It's because for example, the school that I'm working, there are so many teachers that have been done this kind of change.
From a J1 to an H1B?
Yes, but after the 5 years.
In the United States?
Yes,
oh.
In North Carolina.
Yeah, no, I believe you. I'm not 100% sure, because, yeah, Rocio says she had a J1 just like you're talking about, because Rocio's a teacher too. If you want to email me, I can check on that. I think maybe it's possible. I just have to check. I don't know. I haven't had anyone try to change their status inside the United States from a J1 to an H1B.
Okay, yes, because now I have a friend who applied just like this year. She got she was pregnant. She had the baby. She has a baby, and now she said that she can apply for the residence because she has been here for 5 years. So I just want to make sure if in a future, because I have to wait, no, like the 2 years, is it that possible? Or because I don't know, it's just things that I heard from other teachers.
Why don't you go ahead? You can email me your DS 2019 so I can take a look at it. I'll talk to Andrew and we'll figure it out. But I think this plan is going to be pretty tough to pull off. But I'll just say that.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much.
Bye, Carolina. See ya.
Bye.
All right. Let's get back over to TikTok. Show them some love. Do I have to be in the United States 90 days immediately before I apply for citizenship, or can I go on vacation? Well, the question there, Sonia, is about whether or not you reside. So there's a rule. It's not that you have to be in the United States 90 days before you apply. It's whether you've lived in your district where your naturalization interview will take place. So for instance, if you live in Chicago, the question is, on the day you file your N-400, have you lived in Chicago for the last 90 days? Now, if you're talking about a 3-day trip to Canada or Russia, that's one thing. But if you've been living for a good chunk of time outside of Chicago, and that could be overseas or somewhere or somewhere else in the United States, then I would say just go ahead and wait. Don't give them a possible reason to slow down your case. So I would say don't mess with that, Sonia, unless you absolutely have to, right? Okay. All right. I'm on. So this is Danny Banks. I'm on green card. My wife is in Europe. How can I bring her, please? And how long will it take? So Danny, you would file an I-130 petition for your wife, but the backlog right now is like 4 years. So it's probably going to be when you become a citizen that they actually get to come to the United States. That's the deal. So those cases have a huge backlog right now. And I believe most people won't get their fiance here or their spouse here until they actually become U.S. citizens, and then notify them that they want to upgrade their case. Oh, Jujarana said, see, I told you, Danny. I guess the spouse is here too. How about that? All right. Very important question earlier. I forgot to pull up here. I can't find it, but somebody was asking how the Jets did yesterday. The Jets won. How about that? They scored 30 points. That's like more points than they scored in the last 5 games or something. They also stopped their big, long losing streak. So we were glad to see it. Michael is here. Hello, Michael.
Oh, hi. Night, everybody.
How you doing?
Good, you?
Great.
I don't know if you remember me. We talked maybe like a couple months ago, 4 or so months. I have been waiting for a K1 visa. I overstayed in the States prior to applying for the K1 visa.
How long did you overstay?
I overstayed for but that part started out, so that's fine. But I overstayed for 6 months beyond my time of stay. And that's because
more than 6 months or less than 6 months?
I think it might have been 3 days short of 6 months.
Well, those are big 3 days, because if you stay over 6 months, you have a 3-year bar on coming back.
Yeah. Well, what happened was I applied because I got COVID. That's why I stayed over. I applied for it through USCIS. It took over a year and a half for them to finally get back to me. I did my K1 visa interview a month ago, basically.
Okay.
And I had a holdup, not because of my overstay, because they told me my overstay I was fine. I got a waiver through my extension through that. So USCIS was very thoughtful. They gave me an extension from the day I overstayed straight to the day that I left. So that worked out. But with the holdup now is that I had a business in the States. And, I thought I understood my visa as kind of a young kid. When I got my B1, B2, I thought I could have my business and work, do the services too, and I thought it was totally fine. And I did that. So basically, I saw one of your previous videos about if you worked and you just make sure you tell them, and they'll be able to issue a waiver. But the person I spoke to, when I told her, she was like, "Oh, kind of saying you might have to get a waiver and this and that." So we've been waiting for a month now just to hear back from them.
So you had your embassy interview, and they made an issue of the fact that you had run a business in the United States.
Yeah.
So the problem is, it isn't so much the business, it's that they're going to say that you misrepresented yourself to get into the United States. I don't know how anyone can start a business on a 6-month visit. So they're going to say, if you do indeed need a waiver, it's going to be because they're going to say, you said you're coming to the United States on a B1, B2 visit visa, but in fact, you had this plan to start your business as soon as you got here, and you ran a business and you were here working. You weren't really here for visiting, which is what the purpose of the B1, B2 visit visa is.
The only thing is, they did say I'm allowed to have a business. I just cannot operate underneath it.
Who told you that? Who said that?
The agent.
The agent where?
At the interview.
What did they say?
They said, yeah, you can have your business. You're only allowed to do basically you know, like picking up the phone, you know, sort of stuff. What, I don't remember, that word is evading me right.
Like office work.
Yeah, basically, you're allowed to do like office work, but you can't actually operate services. So what? Um, I mean, I did have my B1 visa for years. It was a 10-year, and so I had it from like 2016. So, you know, I've been traveling back and forth, never did business before or anything, never worked illegally or anything. I just, you know, I legitimately thought, okay, now is my time to try to start my business. And I genuinely had a misunderstanding. And
Okay.
I tried to lay it out as clearly as I could to them. But I'm just kind of concerned because I've, you know, not hearing back from them. I'm kind of, you know, but
What
everybody's getting a delay right now, to be honest. Even, you know, we're having delays with our medicals going through.
what
A lot
embassy?
of emailing them and not hearing back.
What embassy, Michael?
Jamaica.
Oh, well, just let me know. Let me know what you find out. Okay.
Hmm. Yeah.
See you, man.
Yeah.
All right. All right. That was our buddy Michael in Jamaica. Camellia is here, I think. Camellia, are you there?
Yes, hi.
Hi. How are you guys?
Very good. How about you?
We
Great.
have some questions. We got married at the end of September. We are here in United States. I am from Romania, and we are trying to apply for my papers. But I have maybe a different case. My mom applied for me when she was on green card, and my status was approved in 2021. But after that, in that summer, she got the citizenship, and the case was is still on pending.
Mhm.
And because changed my visa class to F11.
Mhm.
But now when I'm trying to do my papers through the marriage, um, is asking if I have an ID case. Should I use that ID case?
Case ID.
Case ID.
No.
Never
No.
met.
It doesn't matter either way. You can. So just so that I understand, you're saying that back in the day when mom had her green card, she filed an I-130 petition for you as the unmarried adult child of a lawful permanent resident. That I-130 got approved, and then you're just waiting for like 8 or 9 years. But in the meantime, you've married a U.S. citizen, and you're getting ready to file for a green card and an I-130 from your spouse and a green card based on that marriage, and your spouse is a U.S. citizen. That's what you're telling me?
Yes.
I would say either way is fine. If you list it, you list it. If you don't, you don't. The case ID, I would say technically I wouldn't do that. You don't have to do that because they're asking about this case, not about some other case. Now, you might want to put in your cover letter, please note, back in the day, my mother filed an I-130 petition for me. That receipt number is IOE blah 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 blah, or NBC blah blah blah. Like put that in there. I would probably, I would leave it on there. I would say I don't wish to proceed on that case at this time. What I want to do is adjust my status based on my marriage to a U.S. citizen. Here's my I-130. Here's my 45. Here's my 131, my 765, my 131, and my affidavit of support. That's what I would do.
Because on the form I-30A is asking if somebody applied previous.
So say yes. So say yes for that. Yeah.
They is asking for the case number.
Oh, then give it to him. Yeah. Give that to him. I didn't know where you meant. If that's where they're asking, that's perfect.
Okay, so I will do that. And also, I used to come to United States in 2013 as a J1 student, and I have a social security number, but it's valid just with the DS form. And is asking if I have a social security number issue, and I will say yes. Mm-hmm. But then is asking if I want a new one.
A new card issued.
Yes.
Yeah, you want a new card. Yeah.
Without the DS form, right?
Right.
And also on the last paper that we filed, the
affidavit of support, the part where it asks for the household size, it's like it's filled in already with the 1, and we can't erase the 1 and make it a 2 because there's 2 of us living in the household.
So here's the thing. I luckily, as the owner of a law firm, I don't have to fill out the I-864 anymore. So I don't know the answer to that question. I think most people end up putting, it totals up to being 3. I think most of the time it totals up being 3, and that's okay. So just list everybody, count them, and then let the form do the math.
Because like on the one that we're the 864 down to the household size, the 1's automatically there. No matter how many different numbers we put anywhere else, the 1 is the number that's there as the total household size.
Oh, that's
so we can't adjust that at all.
So I would print it out and I would just mark it out with pen and correct it.
And they'll accept that if we do that?
Yeah, they will.
Cool.
Okay.
I think that's it, huh?
Yeah. And also, because I came with a J1 visa before, at one part is asking about my history, about the housing, the addresses and the jobs. Should I put all the jobs that I had in the United States previous 5 years?
Yeah, just the last 5 years. Now on your J1, do you know about the Rule 212E? You know about that rule?
No.
So there's a rule on some J1s that says you have to go back home for 2 years at the end of your J1. Did you ever hear about that rule?
No, but this year I entered as a tourist with B1, B2 visa.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter. The question that you need to look at your old visa and you need to look at your DS 2019, and it might say that you're subject to Rule 212E, 212, open parentheses E, close parentheses. If that's the case, then you can't apply right away. You need to apply for the waiver. You need to apply for a waiver first. So this is the most important thing of your whole case. If you're subject to Rule 212E, it's going to make it really hard. Now, if you were here doing like work and travel, what were you doing with your J1?
So I was on work and travel, but last time I did it last year, 2022, and then I went home and I came back as a tourist this summer.
July.
In July, yes.
Right. But it's not about how you entered. It's about what think of it like this. Rule 212E is sort of like a jail sentence, right? Like they sentence you to 2 years in Romania at the end of your J1. If you haven't done your time in Romania, then you can't get your green card yet. You either have to go back to Romania and do your time, or you have to apply for a waiver. So it'll say on your old visa, or it'll say on your DS 2019, it'll say the bearer is subject to Rule 212E, or it'll say the bearer is not subject to Rule 212E. So you got to figure this out before you file.
Okay, I will check, but I never heard about that.
Yeah, I know, but a lot of people never heard about it and they're still subject to it. So just make sure you check. And if you are subject to it, then either come back on the show or send me an email and I'll explain to you what you have to do next, because it's a big pain in the ass.
All right. And if it's not, I can just...
You're good.
Okay.
Yeah. But there's a question on the 485 about it specifically. So make sure that you check it and make sure you answer that question carefully.
All right. So that information I will find it on my DS form from last year.
You have to look at all of your DS 2019s. You have to look at all the ones you've ever had and your stamp in your passport, because sometimes the stamp has it wrong. Sometimes the DS 2019 has it wrong. If you're on work and travel, most people aren't. Like you didn't have some government agency paying for your time here, right? You were just working.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. So if I had to bet, you're not subject to it, but you definitely need to check it and you need to make sure that you fill out that form correctly.
All right. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I don't have that.
I don't think so either.
Yeah. We never been told about that. So
thanks, guys.
Thank you so much for your help.
Good luck. See ya.
Thank you.
All right, bye, guys. All right, we're going to go back over. Hey, I saw my man Yasher, and now Itzel's giving us some roses. I never get any roses on YouTube. I only get roses on TikTok. Yasher's always starting things off by giving me some roses. I'm getting all kinds of love. Let me see the love. Let me see the hearts over on TikTok. You guys on YouTube, you forget all about me. I don't get much love on here. What the heck? But listen, my name is Jim Hacking. This is the Immigration Answers Show. I'll be here for another 25 minutes trying to answer as many immigration law related questions as possible. Is this confusing, me doing both at the same time? Is it okay for you guys on TikTok? Is it okay for you guys on YouTube? I'd love to know. Sort of trying to, oh, look at that. LG 3035 is at 16 roses. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you, LG. All right. Now listen. On Friday, I will do the 500th episode of the Immigration Answer Show. We're going to do a 5-hour show. We're going to have guests. We're going to have belly dancers. Oh, wait. No, we're not going to have belly dancers. We're going to have guests. We're going to have longtime callers, longtime friends of the show. We will be, we're having a telethon. Thank you, Tony. We're going to raise money for the MICA Project, which is an organization in St. Louis that represents people going through deportation who can't afford attorneys. So that's going to be great. All right, let's take some questions over from TikTok. Daniel says, Mr. Jim, I really have an interesting case. Please, can we talk about it, please? Okay, so just so everybody knows, info@hackingimmigrationlaw.com. Info@hackingimmigrationlaw.com. Tony's very sad that the belly dancer's appeal has apparently been denied. We believe that the belly dancer appeal has been denied. The Supreme Court might take a look at it. How to correct an I-751 to show a DUI? Lawyer said not necessary because it was on the 485. Actually, I've seen people get dinged for that, so you probably want to make a correction on that, Twinkie. I would say to make a correction for that. James off camera waiting for answer. Not sure what that means. All right. Let me see if I can answer one or two. Oh, 2 new messages. Let's see here. My I-130 case took almost 2 years. Is there anything I can do? Yeah, there is. You can sue them. You can and you should. 2 years is crazy for a green card case. Karubo is here. Hello, Karubo. You're on mute. Oh, I can't hear you. You're still, even though you're not on mute, I can't hear you. Are you on some weird microphone? Can't hear you. We'll come back. Maybe try to find a different mic or something. JC in the house. What's up, JC?
Hi there. How's it going?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I was doing better now that you said that the belly dancers are not gonna be on screen anymore.
All right, I'm still lobbying. I'm still lobbying for the belly dancer.
Good deal. That's awesome. So, quick question here. I've talked to you before. I'm that guy who's been waiting for 20 months on the I-611 out of Brazil. Anyhow, now, if it continues taking that long, and you told me to wait until the 24-month mark, and then we file the writ of mandamus. Sorry. Question number 1 first. I'm getting all messed up here. Now, if the I-611 gets approved, can the consulate say still deny it based on the same reasons? No, they can't, right?
Not for the same reasons. Not for the same reasons, but sometimes they find other reasons.
Oh, I see. But they would have to have told me that before, right?
No, that's their nasty little trick. Usually they don't do that. That. So I think usually you get the 601, you're usually good to go. And especially Brazil. Brazil doesn't play games like Islamabad or something.
Oh, thank God. Okay. Now, second question. Let's say I file writ of mandamus. They take forever up until April 24th month mark. Then I go writ of mandamus.
Yeah.
Get successful with the writ of mandamus. They give me an answer, whether yay or nay. Would it be possible to get a refund for lawyer costs from the writ of mandamus?
That's a great question. So, JC, I have filed 1,600 lawsuits. 1,600 lawsuits. Do you know how many times I've gotten my attorney's fees? Never, because I would never ask. I would have more time fighting over attorney's fees than I would. And technically, JC, I've never won one of my mandamus cases. I've never won one. Now, 95% of the people have gotten their immigration benefit, but USCIS takes the position that they win because I had to dismiss it because my clients got the benefit that they wanted. So I know that sounds strange, but if you're looking at, there's a whole, I mean, think of it this way. Think about trying to get money from the federal government. Think about how hard they're going to fight you on like that. So there's a whole set of cases about whether or not the prevailing party won, who won the case. So technically, I don't win any of these lawsuits. I, of course, do because I get my clients their benefits, but there's not a judgment in favor of Jim and the client because 95% of the cases, we work it out with the U.S. attorney and nobody ever even sees the judge. So there's no winning.
Oh, I see. So the writ of mandamus gets just like put off to the side, and then they decide on the case.
So this is what happens in most lawsuits. So
Uh-huh.
I file the lawsuit. I mail them a copy. They get it about 2 weeks later. Then a 60-day clock starts ticking. And in most cases, in about 90% of the cases, at around the 50-day mark, they call me up and they say, Jim, this is what we're going to do on JC's case. We're going to interview him. We're going to ask for more evidence. We're going to prove it, or we're going to deny it. Or they say, Jim, we need 30 more days. Can we extend our answer? And I say, yeah, sure. And so then they issue their decision, and then we just dismiss the lawsuit. That
usually pretty quick.
I've only talked to a judge in all the 1,600 cases probably 10 times. Like literally talk to the judge maybe 10 times. Yeah,
okay.
We voluntarily dismiss it. That's right.
I see what you're saying. Now, I was looking at the paperwork that they give out on the approved and submitted cases. I think it's for every 3 months they come up with that, right? And I did the math on I divided the approved cases over all the numbers submitted, and I came with a number of around 79 to 80% of the cases approved for the waivers. They don't give a number for I-601. They just give a number for the I-601A, and then all the other waivers they put under the same category. Now my question to you is, would you say, if you can answer me the question, that on the cases that your law firm fought for in regards to approvals and denials for I-601, would you kind of be on that ballpark, 80-ish?
I'd say based on what I know about 601s and my experience in the office, it's probably closer to 60 or 50%. I'm not saying that I lose them more often than the government is posting. I'm saying that their numbers probably aren't accurate.
Not accurate.
I don't think so. They're not approving 80% of the waivers. There's no way in hell.
I see. That's probably minor waiver cases that are not I-601, right? Included.
Yeah, and I think 601As are easier to approve.
Oh, I-601As are easier to prove than I-601 for hardship.
Yeah, because there's a lot of others. There's people get in a lot more trouble for 601s. I mean, 601As are just entry and overstay, right? So 601s can be for like criminal stuff, immigration fraud. There's no way that those get approved more often than 601As. There's no way.
Okay, so 601 in your case, like around 50 to 60%.
That's what I would think, but this is something I should know. So we're working on a project to check on processing times and approval rates. I'm going to dig into this sort of over the break and into next year. This is sort of my project for next year.
Oh, great. All righty then. Thanks, Jim.
Bye, JC. See you, buddy. All right. We got about 17 minutes left. Let's go over to TikTok. The lawyer withdrew the I-140 approval without the employer's approval. Do I have any recourse? Yes, you do. I think you need to figure out exactly what happened and maybe take it up with that lawyer. Yeah, that might be a problem. Overstay visa, married a green card holder. He's now a U.S. citizen. Do I need waiver or not before applying for the 45? Well, first of all, you can't apply for a waiver before you file the 45. But if you are married, if you had a visa and you overstayed and you married someone and they're a citizen at the time that you apply, then you're not going to need a waiver. That's one of the great things about marrying a U.S. citizen, and that's one of the reasons why USCIS looks for immigration fraud when people are cleaning up overstays like that. All right. If immigration said they need the medical, is it that you may get away from an interview? I think that's what they're saying. Yes, I think that means you're probably not going to have an interview. Not always, as we can tell from people who've come on the show and told us that they still get the medical, or after the medical, they still get the interview. But for the most part, they're not going to see it. All right. Salu has been in and out today. Salu, are you back?
Yeah, I'm back. How are you, Jim?
I'm good, buddy. How are you?
I'm good. I just have a few questions for you, Jim. I came to the United States like 2 years ago, like December 2021.
Okay.
But I came illegally, but I was inspected by the DHS and then taken to immigration detention, whereby I did my asylum interview there, but it was through the phone. And then they give me a parole to go out, and then I went out, apply my working permit, and I got my social. So I did the asylum application, I did the fingerprint on last year September, but since then I didn't hear from them, so I don't know what to do.
Well, they're not in any hurry to work on your case. They're just there's a ton of cases ahead of yours.
Oh, okay. So is it normal to just wait like that and then
years and years?
Oh, okay. So second question is am I eligible to marry a U.S. citizen here?
Yes, you can marry a U.S. citizen. Does that
I have to apply for a waiver like 601A?
Yep, exactly.
So what is the probability like for them to approve that?
So Lou, are you married yet?
No, I'm not yet, but
well, we were just talking about the approval rates, but it all depends on the hardship to your spouse who you don't even know yet. So that you're a long way from worrying about that.
Okay, no problem.
Hi, Salou.
Bye,
buddy. Hey, wait a minute. I think we might have someone on TikTok who wants to come on camera. Now, this I haven't done. Arpita has been waiting. Let's see. Arpita, hold on. Wait a minute. I can take call. I didn't know I could take live calls in TikTok. Nor told me that I could, but I don't know. Heather Ford is here. Heather Ford's watching. My friend Heather. Listen, if you're down in Louisiana and you get any kind of traffic or criminal stuff, you call my friend Heather. She'll set you up. Heather Ford in the house. Oh, I haven't seen old Heather in a while. All right. This isn't really working. Oh, look at the love I'm getting. Arpita? I don't know. No. Arpita's trying to come in. I might send Arpita back. Let's see here. Arpita, are you here? Disconnecting with Arpita. All right. Wiz is here. Wait, I'm just going to see if this will work. Let me see if I can let Wiz in. Gotta love the name Wiz. It might be because of my internet here at the hotel. I don't know. There's just like the blue and red dots. I don't know. Ambitious Tosh. Hold on, Wiz. I'll get you in just a second. Ambitious Tosh is asking where our office is. So we have offices in St. Louis, San Diego, and Washington, D.C. If you guys want to come on live with me, unlike Wiz, most people just do that on the Immigration Answer Show, which is on YouTube. So just look for that. But Wiz, go ahead. I can barely hear you, Wiz.
Can you hear me?
Barely.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me now?
Barely.
Hold on. Let me remove.
Uh-oh. I think we lost Wiz. Angel asked, do we take cases in New York City? Yes, immigration is federal. We take cases all around the country.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead, Wiz.
I do have a question. So, the question is, my case was denied. I'm trying to find out what is the best thing to do. It was a K1 visa marriage, and then when we did file, for some reason, my wife didn't sign everything properly because we did it ourselves. So at a point, at this time, the case is being denied.
So hold on. So you're did you get the K1 visa and come to the United States? So Wiz is saying that Wiz's case got denied, that his spouse didn't sign everything properly. Are you talking about the I-129F, or are you talking about the 45 once you got to America?
No, I'm already in America. So I'm talking about the green card.
Yeah. So after USCIS approved the fiance visa, the embassy gave you the visa. You came to the United States. You got married. Your spouse filed a 485 and the work card and all that other stuff, but she didn't sign the forms correctly. That's the problem. Wiz, I don't know about. Yeah, is that what happened? Why didn't she sign the forms right? That's the dumbest thing I ever heard.
No, so what happened was that we were not in good. So you know how you marry with K1 visa. At some point, you guys are not really compatible. You don't know all the differences in people. So when you get over here, and then the marriage itself not really going like too well the way it should be because of differences in
Okay,
culture.
so now we're saying something different. So now you're saying that once you got here on your fiance visa, your spouse didn't want to play along and didn't want to sponsor you for a green card anymore. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, actually, yes, she did it, but for some reason, I think people came in talking, and then she was like, "Okay, I'm gonna try," and then we went ahead and did marriage, and then filed. At the point of filing,
All right. We lost Wiz. So for now, we're just going to keep trying to do the live people over in the Immigration Answer Show on YouTube. Make sure that if you guys want to find me on YouTube, just look for Hacking Immigration Law. The audio was brutal, H&M. You're right. We'll try another one maybe next time. Oh, there's 4 people in there waiting now. So now I know how to do live people in there. So that's good. Hey, one of our old friends is here, ABBXYY. What's up, ABBXYY?
Hey, Jim, how's it going?
It's going. How you doing?
Great. So yeah, I have a question from my prior, topic. So
Just so you know, I don't remember anything. So go ahead.
yeah. So before I asked you about applying for citizenship after getting green card, but it is for my friend who got a charge. So is it okay to wait for 3 years because he's married to a U.S. citizen?
So this person is in the United States. They have a green card.
Yes.
And they're thinking about applying for citizenship, but they have a crime.
They have a charge of disturbing the peace.
Like a municipal charge? That's not a serious charge.
That's in Michigan, that's a misdemeanor.
Yeah. So what's the question? Should they apply for citizenship or should they wait?
Yeah, do they have to wait 3 years because they are married to a U.S. citizen, or do they have to wait 5 years, or can they apply sooner than 3 years?
Yeah. So, well, I mean, that's a judgment call. So the question is, I mean, I would ask, what are the circumstances of the citation, right? So, like, did he get drunk and beat a bunch of people up, or was it something minor? Like, what are the circumstances of the crime? Do you know?
Yeah, so he actually had a DV charge before, and then it got, reduced by the prosecutor to the disturbance of peace.
And was the domestic violence with the spouse?
Yes.
So this person should not apply on the 3-year rule. It's just highlighting the marriage. It's just highlighting the problems in the marriage. The person should wait the full 5 years.
Okay.
I just made a video on this. And the reason why is, number one, you don't want to highlight you don't have to reprove the marriage, which you have to on the 3-year rule. Number two, he's got some criminal stuff. And number three, I have a new theory about people applying on the 3-year rule. If they think that the marriage isn't strong and that the marriage might fall apart, I think they sit on the case to see if the couple gets divorced, and then they can deny the naturalization case.
Okay. Got it. That makes sense.
On that.
So you're basically saying wait 5 years.
Wait 5 years. Yep.
Even though the charge got reduced, but they may still look at the original.
Yeah, and you're talking about DV against the person that sponsored you.
Even though the conviction was for the reduced charge?
The officer, the officer is looking at good moral character. And would you say that people who get charged with domestic violence, I mean, all they have to say is, tell me what happened. Tell me what happened. Oh, I hit my wife. Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, people who hit their wives don't get their citizenship. Even if the charge got amended, they can dig into the oftentimes they'll ask for the police report.
Okay.
So a police report could shit all over the person that wants their citizenship. But I mean, I have a new rule that I haven't even told everybody in the firm yet, but I will. The new rule is, if there's any kind of problem with the marriage at any point in the 3 years, you wait the full 5 years to apply, unless you have some children back home that are going to die if you don't get your citizenship. Other than that, you wait the full 5 years.
Perfect. Okay. That makes sense.
That's my new rule.
And that makes total sense the way you explained it. That's great. Thank you, Jim.
You got it. See ya.
See you. Bye.
All right. Now listen, everybody, don't forget, Friday, we're going to do a 5-hour show from 11 a.m. Central to 4 p.m. Central. I'll be taking a few questions, won't be many, and I'll do 2 more shows between now and then. I don't think I'll do a show tomorrow, and I'll probably do a show Wednesday at the airport. So that'll be 498, and then we'll do 499 on Thursday to get everybody pumped up. I don't know how many actual call-ins we'll have on Friday. I'm just trying to stack it with people, and we'll see all about it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Rosillo's coming on, Laura's coming on, Robert's coming on. I just got to get back to them with the times. Nasir, I think, I don't know if I have your email, Nasir. Send me an email so I can add you. Anybody else? Pineapple Lemon, we'd love to have you. I don't know who Barney Stinson is, but I do have new rules. And I probably need to make a rule. Maybe Jim's 10 commandments when it comes to immigration. Ooh, I like that. Jim's 10 commandments when it comes to immigration. All right. I'm going to take one more question from the TikTok. Waiting on the I-130 embassy in Mexico. I am a green card holder. Any idea how long to bring the wife and kid 10 years old? So, whoa, look at my eyes. People are doing cool shit with me. They gave me a mustache and a hat, and then I just had really cool flaming green eyes. We need some of this shit on YouTube. Anyway, How I Met Your Mother. I never saw that show. All right. We're talking about marriage-based green cards or immigrant visas for green card holders. You're talking 4 years at least now. 4 years at least. It's ridiculous. Now, those things might end up going faster, but I'm not holding my breath. All right. Ali has been waiting very, very patiently. Hello, Ali.
Hey, Jim, how are you?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
I'm blessed. Thank you. Thank you for arranging everything for us. It's been a blessing. I've learned many things from your show, and good luck for 501. Looking forward for it.
Thanks, man. It's gonna be fun.
I have 3 questions. Number 1, I've applied for my wife back in January 2022 for I-130. I'm a green card holder. No word yet. I know people I'm following, they've reached till December 2021, but nothing after that. Anything lawsuit? Is it time?
No. Do you know about the visa bulletin?
Yeah, I'm way up. It's in 2019 and I applied in 2022.
Right. So the lawsuit can't do anything for that. A lawsuit can't change the priority dates in the visa bulletin. Lawsuits only work when the when the priority date is current. Your priority date's 3 years away. And that's why USCIS isn't working very hard on the case, because they know even if they approved it today, there's no visa available for your wife for a couple of years. So there's no real hurry to that.
Okay. So yeah, but it stops. There's a huge backlog in Islamabad. I'm not getting in the lane yet, right? I will be eligible for citizenship in 2025.
And that's when you get your citizenship, you're going to upgrade your case to the IR, spouse of a green card holder of a U.S. citizen, and that's when they're going to get their interview. It's not until I bet you get your citizenship before USCIS approves the I-130.
Oh wow!
And technically, your place is in line. I don't think you should think of it that way. You are in the game. It's just USCIS and the State Department are 2 agencies that work together. USCIS knows that approving her I-130 today does no good. So they're going to work on cases where they can actually move things along for people. They can't move it along for your wife.
Okay. The second thing is, if I getting an opportunity working remotely somewhere else in the country and doing back and forth to US, not any trip more than 2 months or 3 months outside US, will that affect my case in any way?
Well, when you apply for citizenship, you're going to have to show that you've lived at least half the time the last 5 years in the United States. So literally, if you do start traveling overseas, start keeping track of the day you leave and the day you come back, because we have to count up all those days and show that you've been in the United States for at least 2 years, 6 months, and 1 day. And we also have to show them that you didn't have any trips of more than 6 months. So those are the 2 things. If you don't have any trips more than 6 months, and if you stay in the United States at least 2 years, 6 months, and 1 day, then you'll be fine.
And that doesn't matter if I'm getting any digital nomad visa or any other country.
Oh, so now you're asking about if you work in the other countries?
No, I'm working remotely, so I will be just traveling back and forth. But in order to live legally in any other country just for few time back and forth, just to get in that country to get a visa, right? But I would be working in U.S. company, getting paychecks, everything over here.
And you'll be paying U.S. taxes?
Yes.
I would encourage you to do that as little as possible, because I have had them, when they inquire about somebody's residency, they do dig in a little bit to whether you got some kind of immigration status in that other country. But for the most part, I think it's fine.
So is
So
it
what I'm saying is do it as little as possible. That's what I'm saying.
the trips or to get in any other country?
I don't care about the trips. I'm talking about getting visas to get status in the other countries.
Okay. Lastly, my parents have gotten B1 B2 visa 2 times, 5 years. The first time they traveled three times in that span. The second time they never traveled because couple of years it was COVID and there were some health issues and they could not travel. Now it's expiring B1 B2 in April. Will that be any issue that they did not travel in the whole last 5 years and they had the visa while reapplying it?
No, I think that the closer you get to citizenship, though, the harder it's going to be for them to get visit visas. Because if you get your citizenship, then you can sponsor them. And so I think that do they have current visas right now?
Yes, it's expiring in April, this in 2024. But in last 5 years, they never made an entry in it.
That's okay. Are they coming now before April or no?
No, it's difficult.
Yeah. Are they old?
They are late 60s.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, I don't think that in and of itself won't hurt them. I think the fact that you're getting close to citizenship might hurt them, but they've always followed the rules. They've always left on time, so they can certainly try.
So I can apply 90 days before it expires, right? Not right now.
Yep.
Okay. Cool. Thank you, Jim. Appreciate your answers.
Right,
Thank you so much.
You got it. See you, buddy. All right. Hey, I saw everybody was talking about their favorite shows. Nobody asked me what my favorite shows are. So my favorite shows are The Wire, Sopranos, Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, NYPD Blue, The Bear. I love The Bear. What else? I don't know. How about on TikTok? What shows do you guys like? We need more shows about immigration lawyers. Actually, I've been thinking about writing a show about immigration lawyers. There's so much crazy shit that comes across my plate. I think I could actually write a show about immigrants. And in fact, I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about writing a pilot next year. So that would be fun. Oh, Succession was good, Raphael. You're right about that. I love Succession. And you know who I like the most, Raphael, on Succession? The dad. That's who I rooted for. Everyone got really mad at me for rooting for the dad because he was so. Oh, Law and Order SVU. That's my sister Carrie's favorite show. Frasier's good. No, I haven't seen The Righteous Gemstones, but the boys love it. And plus, John Goodman's from St. Louis. Yes, we would have to have a character named Shabazz on the show. There's no doubt about it. But yeah, I mean, the one thing I always come back to when I think about doing a show about immigrants and an immigration law firm is one time I had a consult in the old office and there was a stripper in my office and she had really big boobs and blonde hair and very little clothes on. And I was talking to her. I don't remember what she was talking to me about, something immigration wise. It was sort of hard to concentrate. And anyway, I brought her out. We were done with the consult. And there were 3 ladies in niqab, so they were Muslim and they had just their eyes showing. So the 3 ladies in niqab started talking to the stripper. It was the craziest thing. Adela and I were looking at each other, and that was back when it was just me and Adela. We're looking at them, looking at her, looking at them, looking at her, and somebody actually reached out to me from Hollywood a while back and said, "Hey, Hollywood would really like a show about this because they're trying to get more diversity on their shows. And, with immigration, you could touch every country, every class, every religion, every race. There's all kinds of stuff. Oh, good. Rocio's got someone who wants to be an immigration lawyer. Maybe do a, yeah, Glenn's saying this show just got different. Sorry, Glenn. It's not always a family show on here. Sometimes I cuss, sometimes I tell funny stories. I don't remember what the stripper Laura wanted to talk about. I think what in the hell was it? That might have been when we were still doing stuff other than criminal or other than immigration. It might have been a criminal thing. I don't remember. It's funny because I saw her a little while later at QT and I was like, oh, there she is. The Office is great, Matt. You're right about that. 90 Day Fiance is terrible. I have not enjoyed 90 Day Fiance. One time somebody from 90 Day Fiance who you guys would, yeah, Jim After Dark. Exactly, Glenn. That's exactly right. Oh, somebody wants to become an immigration paralegal over there too on TikTok. That's great. What was I saying? Oh, 90 Day Fiance. Someone that you would all know from 90 Day Fiance wanted me to be their immigration lawyer. And dude, I watched like 2 episodes and I said to them, if you want me to be your lawyer, you've got to quit that show. And they had no interest in that because it was like their little 15 minutes of fame. And so they decided not to do that. And I decided not to work with them. Nurse Lara. So now I know Nurse Lara a little better. The Office and The Simpsons. I totally got it. Those are my boys' favorite shows. I mean, they loved Saul too, which you liked Saul. I haven't finished The Office. I've only watched like 3.5 seasons of The Office. And you know what else I didn't finish that everybody liked was Ted Lasso. I need to get back to those. But nobody's saying The Bear. I love The Bear. The Bear was great. The Bear is very stressful. So, and I never worked in a restaurant. I never worked in a restaurant, but The Bear stresses me out when I watch it. So that'll do it for tonight. Everybody on TikTok, I enjoyed doing both at the same time. Yeah, I don't like Andy, and I don't like Friends is okay. Friends is okay, Rocio. It was good at its time. I don't know why it got such a resurgence on Netflix, but it's a fun show. I liked everybody. All right, I'm getting tired. Can you take on TikTok, please? I don't know what that means. All right, everybody. I'll see you. I'll do a show either tomorrow or Wednesday. Might be tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Oh, Friends is the best, Rocio says. All right, everybody. Have a good night. Thanks for joining us on TikTok. Thanks for joining us on YouTube. Love you guys. I will see you tomorrow or Wednesday. And then, of course, we got the 5-hour show. Thanks, Tony. Bye, everybody.